Hello, everyone. I am Renata from the eSpot, and tonight I went to go watch a hockey game at a sports bar here in Jyväskylä. And if you're new to my channel, you're probably thinking, okay, you went to see a hockey game in Jyväskylä, but why are you wearing a Pelicans jersey? Well, I have to admit, I am a Pelicans fan. Not really admit, I am proud to be a Pelicans fan. I consider Lahti to be my first home in Finland, even though I've never lived there. But like we say, home is where your heart is. And a piece of my heart is in Lahti, and I will always be a Pelicans fan. And even though I live in Jyväskylä now, I am still a Pelicans fan, and I will root for the Pelicans. But I also will always root for you. Even when they're playing the Pelicans, I just root for a Pelicans overtime win. That way, you will still get a point for the rankings. So I am as loyal as I can be to both teams. Let's see how many Liga fans I can piss off in this video. Just wait, because I will piss off Liga fans as time goes on, because one of my big plans is actually to do a whole series of ranking all of the Liga arenas. I want to visit every city that has a Liga team for a game, and I'm going to do a full ranking of the arena, the fan groups, the food, the mascot, the general experience. So stay tuned for that if you are a hockey fan, because those videos will be coming. And I have already been to a Youth game, so I just have to put that video together and edit it. So stay tuned. So anyway, today I went to a sports bar. I really wanted to watch the Pelicans game on a TV. I have watched games like on my computer, and it's just not the same as watching it on a big screen. So I really wanted to watch on a big screen, and I also wanted food. There's something so nice about, eating a big pile of wings and drinking a cold drink while you watch a hockey game. So I decided to go to a bar, a sports bar. They call themselves like a living room for sports fans. And I have to say, at the Cheers bar here in Jyväskylä, it does feel like a living room for a sports fan. So I really enjoyed this bar. When I first got there, first of all, I went like dressed as you see me now, because have jersey will wear, simply. Um, so I walk in, and there was a Youth game tonight, and it was like right around the corner from the bar, and the bar was packed with people getting pre-game drinks. So I wish that I would have waited maybe like 10-15 minutes before going there. But I guess I was thinking in like the American way of thinking, like, okay, it's a sports bar. They did list that they're going to have all of these games, like all these games are happening. So I thought there would be like a TV, there'd be a TV and each one would have a game on. So I was like, well, I want to make sure that like I can get to the bar and get a seat near the TV that's got the Pelicans game on. So I want to get there a little bit earlier. So I got there a little bit early. I got there a little bit too early, because it was like walking into the Lions Den. Everyone's a Youth fan, and they're all just looking at me like, are you in the wrong place, little girl? Because also I was the only woman that was in the bar. It was a lot of like older men, and I was alone. So I really need to get like a gig friend and a sports friend who can go with me to these things, so I'm not always being uh, alone and awkward in these situations. But it's okay. It was okay. In fact, later at the end of the night, some really sweet old man came over and said, "Hyvä Pelsuit," because Pelicans won. So I'm in like a good mood right now. If you can't tell, I am in like a really good mood right now, which is why I thought like, oh, I'll make a video, because I'm happy. If the Pelicans would have lost, I would probably not have wanted to make a video. I would have just come home and, I don't know, watch something else to take my mind off the loss. But we didn't. We won. So as I said, one of the reasons I chose this particular bar was because they had a food menu and they had hot wings, and that was what I was in the mood for. So I went up to the bar and I ordered hot wings and waffle fries with blue cheese. and a Coke or a Pepsi. And so I asked the bartender which of the TVs is going to have the Pelicans game on, because at the time when I walked in, it was all a rally car race that was on every TV. The same thing was on every TV. And he kind of looks at me and he's like, "Oh, well, they were all going to have the Youp game, but I can put the Pelicans game on for you on another TV." And I'm just thinking, because at the moment, the bar was like really full, and I'm like, oh my God, like the TV he said it would be was like right near these like two really big plush couches, a table full of guys. The couches were full of guys. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are going to hate my guts. They are going to hate my guts because they're going to put the Pelicans game on at the table that these fellas are sitting at. Luckily, though, they left. They must have had tickets to the game because they did get up and leave. And so I actually had a nice big leather couch, comfy leather couch. I mean, like I said, they say it's a living room for the sports fan, and it totally, totally was. It was very comfortable in there. I would describe it as like a traditional like American like sports bar pub, not the kind of like more modern sports bar pub or sports like bar. I would say this is more like a sports bar pub because they do have food. Because sometimes sports bars will be like heavily like TV oriented, where like there's a whole wall that's all these like those tile screens, so like huge, enormous, maybe a projection screen, and they did have a nice big projection screen to watch games on here. But those are kind of like the two kinds of sports bars that I think of. The like 1,000 screens at once with every imaginable sport playing, and a little bit more like corporate feeling, if that makes sense, like sleeker. Whereas this was like a very traditional, warm colors, lots of like stuff on the wall, kind of like antique stuff on the wall. So I was really enjoying it. It was like, yeah, like sports antiques. So there was a lot to see. They had a billiard table. It was like very cozy. And the clientele also, they were on the like older end. So it seems like maybe this is a place that has like a, like there's guys who've been going there for years. That was sort of the vibe that I got. Very neighborhoody, comfortable. Everyone knows each other, which is like the thing from the show Cheers, like where everybody knows your name. So it did totally like fit the name. Yeah, so before the game finally started, um, the bartender brought my food. The food came really fast. I don't think that people were really eating because like I was expecting like a 20 to 30-minute wait for my food. I don't mind, that's what you expect. But I mean, it was maybe 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Like the food came out fast. It was nice and hot because it came out fast. The fries were amazing. They were like the crisscross fries, waffle fries. So, you can get a lot of dip in the waffle fries. Uh, and the chicken wings were very good. They did come in two flavors. There was like I think they called it mild and hot. But I learned my lesson when I went to Hook in February that when it comes to buffalo wing hot, the hot here is going to be like a regular intensity in the US because we do really, really love hot wings. I really love hot wings, especially. So I went straight for the hot because I knew I would be able to handle it. And with the blue cheese, you always have that to kind of like calm them down a little bit. So very, very good wings. I was like chewing the ends off of the bones. I was like using my French fries to like wipe up all of the not barbecue, but the buffalo sauce because there was a little bit left in the container. And the buffalo sauce, I'm telling you, it was really good actually. Like it wasn't just like it was okay. Like it was good. It was like finger licking good, as we say. So really enjoyed the food. Would definitely go back for the food, even if there wasn't like a game happening. Like I would just grab some friends, go get wings. It's near to my house, so easy. I like walked there and I walked back. Um, and the game. So the Pelicans game got off to a great start. Pelicans are scoring like right out the gate. We're looking really good on the ice. And I noticed that like it was really quiet in the bar. Like it just got really quiet. So like the TV I was watching had the Pelicans game, but there was no sound because the sound going through the bar speakers was the Youth game. And all of a sudden there's just no sound in the bar. And like nobody's talking either. And I'm just watching the Pelicans game. It was the only TV like in my line of view anyway. So it's not, I didn't see the other screen. And then finally I'm like, what is going on? So like during a break in the action, I turned myself around to look at a TV screen that was behind me. And I could see that the gameplay had stopped because a player got injured. And he's like on the ice, like you can't see him, but you could see the crowd around him. Very scary stuff. And the ambulance, they drove an ambulance like onto the ice to help this guy. Um, and like I didn't even see what happened. Like I said, I was watching the Pelicans game, so I didn't see what happened. I didn't see any clip of what happened. But this poor player got very badly injured, and all the best for him that he's okay. Really scary. So it was kind of ended up being like this little kind of a weird mood for a while in there because there's this, no one really know. I think no one really knew what was going on. They just knew someone was hurt. So people were, not really having conversations and whatever. And I'm still watching the Pelicans game and like they're scoring goals. And it's just kind of like, I just was just trying to be really quiet, So um, it was it was just, it was kind of funny because when I watch hockey at home, I like go crazy. And I like, there's nothing that I can do to like not be loud when I'm watching hockey. My poor dog hates hockey. She hates hockey because I yell when I'm watching hockey. So I like, even for my dog, I'm like, I don't care if you don't like me yelling. It's too bad. I'm going to yell. But it did feel really, really weird to be like being really loud in this bar. But even after the injury, they actually restarted the game. So it wasn't like he was so badly injured that they thought it was inappropriate to continue. But at that point, I still like, I still like didn't want to go crazy in there, at the goal. So I'm just kind of like in my seat, like holding in all of my excitement because I don't know if in the US, it's like you can be as crazy as you want in a sports bar situation. Like if your team is winning, like you can scream, you can shout. If your team is losing, you can. I mean, like it's like expected that you'll really be rowdy. But I think a lot of Finnish people are very like reserved too, and so I think maybe that's rubbing off on me a little bit. That like I didn't want. I already was alone in a bar wearing like not like a visiting team, but a rival team's jersey, not speaking the language. It was like there was enough things that were drawing attention to me, so I did just try to like control myself and control my excitement. But it was so nice to watch the Pelicans win. It was so nice to have some chicken wings, some familiar food, favorite food, to relax in, this really cozy environment, to find a new spot nearby that I can go to, and also to see my team win and to watch the celebration on the ice afterwards, because one of my best memories from my trip to Finland in February was when I went to Lahti, and I'm a huge Pekko Pelican fan. Actually, my jersey is a Pekko jersey. So I'm a huge Pekko fan, and I got to meet Pekko when I went to Lahti, and we won that game that I was at. And actually, at the end of the game, he took me onto the ice with him. and I got to celebrate the game with him on the ice. So every time I see him on the ice after the game, I'm like, oh my God, I was there once with him. So yeah, I had a great night. And I'm gonna keep doing hockey videos. I really love hockey. All my life, I've loved hockey. Um, and I guess I'm gonna be interested, worried about what the comments are gonna look like on this video, because I know that Finnish people are also extremely passionate about hockey. And I will put links to my other videos that talk a little bit about Pelicans, why I chose Pelicans. You know, the thing is, Finnish people, some of you guys are into NHL teams and they're really random NHL teams, but you all have your reasons for why you like that team. And with me and Pelicans, it's no different. So you should check out those videos if you want to learn more about why I chose Pelicans, or a little bit more about my trip to Lahti. I welcome you to go watch those videos as well. Also, in the description, is going to be a link to a question and answer form, a comment form, if you just want to give me your thoughts directly. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. It looks like you have bunny ears. It looks like you have bunny ears, Cookie. It does.